For those just starting out, to those who built their reputation. In the detail industry, navigating the course is a daily grind. This is Play-by-Play with industry professionals tackling topics and offering tips to help improve your game plan. Now, here's your Play-by-Play.
All right, what's up, everybody? We're back.
What's up?
With another episode of Play-by-Play.
Back once again.
You can go, keep going.
Oh, man, that's what I did. That was it.
And today we have Greg Masterson with Masterson's Auto Care, right? Auto Care? Yeah, car care.
Car care.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice.
Hey, brought to you by Greg Masterson's Masterson Car Care.
Yeah, and you know, like I was saying in my live, if you saw it earlier, definitely if you've interacted with him on a social network, Facebook group, whatever, you've probably noticed he's quite divisive at times. You know, very strong opinion, right?
Yeah, he tends to be polar. You know, you either love him or you hate him.
Yep.
There's not a hole in the middle.
No, there's not. There's not.
I was mentioning that to you guys earlier. I'd much rather have some sort of feeling when people talk about me or think about me than just go,
just
whatever.
muddle through.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like,
and he does that. He sparks that that feeling,
right?
And so he gets some love, some hate. But you know, the message is clear, and he really means what he meant. He really is trying to help our industry.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, he's making you think about the things that you're doing, because a lot of times in these groups they're trying to appease each other as detailers, and they're trying to stroke each other's ego, and really that's not making money. Well, no, at the end of the day, that's not making a dollar.
If you were actually, you know, stroking each other's ego on how big your business has grown over the last year, or if you have that mentality, but that's not it. It's like, look at how good I polished this car. And there's a lot of time wasted there that could be steered towards business, and that's what Greg preaches. You know, I mean, that's his thing. So
I mean, and I follow the groups. I know what's going on in them. You know, most of the time.
Come on, Dustin. Let's be honest. You're a drama queen.
I'm a no, I'm not. But you know, and I've always seen him post in there and kind of crack up when I read the comments and stuff. But I don't get into it because I don't want to go into the rabbit hole. You know, I don't want to say I don't have time. I mean, you know, I think it's you know, but time is limited, and I don't think that's best served for me at that moment to go in there and get into it. But I love. I mean, like let's get real. I like to watch it. Yeah, I like to watch it unfold.
And if you actually take him up on his offer, you know, when he says, call me, you know what I'm saying? Like like call me, let's have a conversation. Then you can't help but fall in love with the dude. I mean, he's just genuine and humble and really is a good guy. And you don't kind of see that online. Well,
we're going to bring him up in just a little bit. Before we get to that, we're going to do Hacker Hack today.
Yep, that's right. We got a Hacker Hack, and we're going to do our guessing game. You know, I think we like that format. I enjoy kind of like guessing what it is. And Chris has been just continuing to put out great videos. And
I got a funny story there.
Tell me about it.
I was in Houston, Texas over the weekend / Monday, Tuesday. And someone overheard me talking about our podcast. It was in a podcast meeting. He's like, "Oh, you got a podcast?" I said, yeah. It's like, I'll show you a little thing. And I'm telling him about it. He's like, "So it's about software?" And it's like, no, it's not really about software. It's more like detailing business and in general. I said, but we do this funny thing called Hacker Hack. And he's like, "Oh, show me it." So I scroll all the way to the end of our video, right? And I'm holding my phone. And we start Hacker Hack. And it's, you know, it's Patrick. What's the anyways, Chris was up here, and we had one of the detailers come up the steps and take us out. But and it's us, me and you explaining it, and this guy's never seen this. And he's just looking at like, what the hell am I
Did he not get it?
No, it was awful.
Okay, that must have been embarrassing, and that must now you know how I feel when I you know, asked my dad why he didn't watch our podcast. You know what I mean? I was a little hurt, and then he broke it down. He goes, "Well, you guys are just talking about washing cars, and I don't really care." Good point, Dad.
I was like so excited to show this guy this funny video, but it's only funny if you like know about like what we're doing. I hope.
Well, I think this is very specific, and we're here to provide value to you guys that are in the detailing industry. We don't, you know, necessarily care that our parents aren't watching it all the time now, but you know, it's more, can you get value out of this? And that's what we want to provide.
Right.
And we get to do this for a job on Fridays.
It's cool. What you always call this one, like mine and your hour together?
Yeah, this is my guaranteed hour with Dustin. That's it, guys. And there's proof. See, you know, otherwise you're gonna book a meeting.
There's only a couple people around that get like a solid undivided, no phone.
No phone.
Matter of fact, I don't know if anybody is. Trey gets probably the closest to that at lunch.
Yeah. Oh, but you're eating. Yeah. That's hilarious.
All right. So before we get to all bringing Greg on, we want to talk a little bit about goals of 2023, things that we're doing for the new year, some stuff that's going on relative in our world.
Right. So we started doing these lives in our MVP group. They'll transform into a webinar series eventually as we get, kind of a database collected of episodes or, put it out there. But it's about product features, things that basically you want broken down a little bit more about the software.
Yeah.
I never really talk about the software, but we have a group that is dedicated to this industry as well and bringing it up professionally. And so great content that
those have been fun, man. And it's very informal. We're doing it like from our office, whatever, live into the MVP group. We talk about things that are relative and, if you're using the software, things that help you, little tips, tips, and something. No, little features and how to use them and stuff like that. So it's cool, right? And
absolutely.
And so we're going to continue on with that. Conferences, Mobile Tech, we'll be there, loud and proud,
absolutely,
Detail Bookie style.
Yeah, buddy, it's going to be fun.
Got a cool booth design coming. We're going to look. Everybody that's watching this is like trying to compete with us on a booth. Give up, dude. We're going to win this every time.
As soon as you think you have it, like you're going to replicate what we've got,
it's not going to happen.
We're tearing it all down.
Yeah, we're changing it. So if you're showing up with an 18-foot LED wall, you still lost.
That's right. Even if you bring the stage,
you're going to lose.
Still going to go down.
You're going to lose. We're going to beat you.
But it's going to be awesome. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Another thing we got going on, and this is something that's important to me, and it's really it's amazing to me how this thing's growing. So I started an Ironman, my Ironman Journey Facebook group. I started that last year, or the beginning of this year, I'm sorry, when I started my Ironman Journey. Right?
And that came out of what? Just a conversation with somebody?
Yeah. On vacation, not wanting to be there.
Oh, no, you hate vacations.
I hate vacations.
So you had to think about, oh, wow, that's hilarious.
Dude, you don't know the anxiety I had Monday and Tuesday. I wasn't on vacation. It was kind of a work trip, but I was supposed to be like chilling out. Monday, Tuesday, dude, I was like clawing at the bits to get back to work.
Well, believe me, we fell apart Monday and Tuesday.
Oh yeah, right.
No, we didn't. I actually sat in your chair and led the meetings, and yeah, it was it was a good vibe actually. Everybody was really receptive.
Yeah, I heard. So we started this Ironman group, and followed my journey all the way to Ironman. What happened was the people that were following this, really, a lot of them started journeys of their own.
Right.
Okay. They started moving the needle, doing things, watching us do these workouts, watching us do these things, and became motivated by it. And I had no clue that would happen. Only thing I did this group for was accountability to myself. Like I said, if I state something in front of a group of people, I'm going to do it no matter what. That's how it has to happen, right? Dude, and it happens. So what we're doing with that same group is we're changing the name of it because we have this huge following now, and they're committed.
Right.
And so for 2023, we're going to make some announcements and the things that we can use this group for to help continue to hold people accountable.
Right.
But something special happened. Something else happened. Ryan has made a commitment to the group.
I have, Dustin. After watching you the last year, you've been, hard at it, and you still perform at work every day. There's no, there's no big difference except for the way that you feel, and you can tell that, that you look great, you feel great. And I feel like this past year, all I've done is perfect my before body for the picture,
and it's perfect.
Oh, it's perfect, dude.
Perfect.
It can't get any more before than this. So I'm going to make sure to whip out the gut and take the pictures, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. I've got some changes that I'm looking at making, that I've wanted to make for a while, and I don't know what has kept me back, but bad habits. You know what I mean? There's times where
and here's what I think we do. I think we reward ourselves with these things that make us feel the worst. Like so, our reward would be the few beers. Right. Our reward is the cigarette. Our reward is the cheeseburger and french fries. We're rewarding ourselves with the things that are worst for us. They don't make us feel better. They make us feel okay in that moment, but you fast forward 4 or 6 hours later and it makes you feel like shit.
Right.
So if we flip the switch and go, our reward shouldn't be the thing that's holding us back the most. Right. Our reward should be something that promotes the good. So self-discipline, and then let that decision of I'm not going to reward myself with 20 Michelob Ultras tonight. Yeah, that's the Dustin Jackson reward. That's 100%. Yeah, we're not rounding up either. But I want to reward myself with go into bed. And this is going to sound ridiculous, but go to bed on time, wake up early, get up extra early, and go do something.
All right.
Go do something. And let me tell you something, that reward, it pays dividends that day. Like wait. You are just inspired, you're motivated, I mean, it's like a whole new person that you're just unveloping, and it's easy once you start,
right?
So
I sure hope so, because I'm making my commitment today that I'm absolutely going to give this my best, and I'm not going to fail. I'm going to succeed in it.
You have a strong team around you too. I mean, we're here for you, seriously, in the group, but really on a personal level, friend to friend, like I'm here for you, and we're going to do this thing together. Madison, our marketing director, she's jumping in. I think there's a few. We
got some IGL folks that are in it, interested as well, right? Mike Carlin has
already done the deal, man.
Yeah.
He's done, and
Joe LePalm,
Marcus. Yeah, so it's a big momentum. Going. Nathan Warren's doing a big thing. Chris Seaton's doing a big thing. I'm in a group a group message with these guys, and it's funny because I'm getting the gym picks, but they're good dudes. Anyways, look, we got to get on with the show.
Let's bring on.
We're excited about 2023 coming in. We'll continue talking about those goals and our progress. That's how we're going to hold you accountable.
That's right.
And let's bring on Greg Masterson.
Yeah, let's bring on the man. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, Dustin? And how you going, my man?
Doing good, buddy. How are you?
I saw a little lag there. Okay, it's caught up now.
Okay.
Awesome.
So how are things on your end?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. And thanks a lot for bringing me back on the Detailing Bookie Play-by-Play podcast. I think it's really cool. And it's just a lot of great knowledge happens here on podcasts. And I'm glad I could just share some of my knowledge that I have for the year. And I think it's going to be cool to talk about goals, because I was thinking about goals for the next year.
Right.
It actually made me think about more goals. So it's good how we're going to talk about goals. So, man, I'm really excited for this.
Well, yeah, and it's fun to talk about them. And here's the thing like when we talk about goals, it's easy to set these things out there and write them down and say, okay, I'm going to do this thing. But you really got to focus on like breaking it down and how do we get there, and break it into small bite-sized pieces. And I've got some questions and stuff we want to talk to you about, but I want when we talk about goal setting, and we do it different I say different. We do it our way here for our businesses, but we put the big goals up top and we say, what do we have to do different to get there? What are the things we have to change? Then we say, okay, how do we make those changes on a small weekly basis? And then how do we report back to that? Make sure that we're on target to it. So setting goals is fun, but making sure that we have accountability along the way is everything.
And a game plan to achieve the results.
Yeah. So I'm curious though, like, if we look back at 2022, thinking about that, what would you say some of your highlights have been for Masterson's Car Care?
2022 was an incredible year for us. Every year, we always try to grow. We always try to do new. And our main goal for 2022, which it really actually took me like half or more than half of the year and some of the previous year to get this goal done. And that was to build a new Masterson's Car Care factory store location and training center in California. So it actually took us about almost 8 months to get it done. And now, like, look, I'm here now.
Where you're at right now?
Right. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
I know, it's really cool. This is our showroom. We also have a training center behind it. It's a 20,000 square foot facility where we do all of our Amazon shipping as well. So it's a really cool place, and it's a really cool space for us to build our brand more for the next decade, which is really cool for us. So this detailing space just took us a long time. Any big goal like that takes a long time. And this normally, I know a lot of people set goals and they're like, hey, I'm going to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like this year or that year, 2022, was mainly one goal. And I had to do a bunch of
There's a lot of little goals. Yeah, right. There's a lot of little things that add up to that.
Yeah, it was like a whole lot of segment of little goals.
Yeah.
And the hard part about that was that all those goals have to be sequential. They have to go one after the other. And sometimes some people might want to say, screw this goal, I want to go to the next one.
Absolutely.
But you can't do that without like doing the 3 goals first. And you have to do that. So it took us about 8 months to develop this store. If you guys follow us on YouTube,
absolutely.
We have a whole story where we actually talked about it. It was a very long time, especially with California. And, California is a really old state. Everything's very old over here. So especially like infrastructure,
right.
Where we want to be, which is like, we're located right in Orange County. We're like 10 minutes from Disneyland. So it's really close. We're like 10 minutes from Disneyland. And it's interesting because it's not like being in another state where you can just build another building.
Just throw it together. Yeah.
Yeah. Just throw it together. You have to like work with existing infrastructure. And that's where we actually built this place. We found a large enough space to be able to do that. And we were able to just get it going. We actually started doing it in November 2021. And it was completed and opened June 1st, 2020.
That's incredible. Man, that's amazing.
Yeah. So pretty much like half the thanks Marcus for talking. And he was actually just at our shop about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
And the location of the shop is really cool because people like Mark, he was able to just come down into California, stop by at the shop. We're like 10 minutes from the airport, which makes it a really cool space. And especially with all the new training that we're going to be doing, we're actually implementing a new training program where we're going to be training detailers from around the globe to come out here. They can fly out to California, do training with us, and not just detailing training, but business training.
Boom, there you go.
That's it.
That's the number one thing. And I talk about this a lot on detailing groups as well, is that washing cars, detailing is so easy. It's probably the easiest thing in the world to do. Like I feel like, to be honest, it's easier than even lawn care.
Sure.
I love it when you talk about how a child can do it. I know it makes a lot of these guys.
Well, because like that's so they're emotionally attached to this because that's where their pride is, and unfortunately, like their pride is hung up on the the art aspect of the detailing rather than the running of the business itself. So if you can't make that transition, because I don't ever want to wash a car again. Like I have no intentions of getting out in that shop and washing cars. Like I'm running a business. I'm running multiple businesses. That should be the end goal. If you don't have that end goal, then you need to be the best car polisher in the world. But how are you somebody come run your business?
Yeah. And Dustin, it's interesting you say, I don't want to wash a car ever again. But I'm going to ask you this question. Let's say all your employees fucking quit today.
We'd do it tomorrow. We'd do it tomorrow. Like we'd do it today. Yeah.
And that's the difference. Yeah. Is that like a difference between, I don't ever want to wash a car again, or no, I want to focus on other goals in the business. And some people in detailing, they're like, this guy, they don't even want to detail anymore. They're not detailers. No, they want to focus that talent somewhere else.
Right.
So that their business can grow and it can scale up.
And it's not like I lost the ability to. It's not like because I don't do it every day, now I don't know how. I perfected that. I know how to do it. I can go out there and do it right now with the best of them. I just chose to not be to not chase down, and because there is no bet. First of all, I mean, like, okay, at best you're going to get an IDA award that's going to say you're the best, car detailer of the year or whatever. But that don't pay the bills. Like, I want to be the best businessman around that can also polish some paint if I need to.
If you need to. And I guarantee if all the detailers quit, guess what? He'd have a shop full of marketing staff and software salesmen as detailers.
Absolutely.
And
well, we're like, there is no job description in a sense. Like you all get in and we just get down. Like whatever the job takes, that's what we do. So,
yeah. So, Greg, tell me, in addition to the shop opening up, you also had a big life, experience this past year with the birth of your son, right?
Oh, yeah. That was actually last year, 2021. End of the year. I had a baby, my first son. So we've just been enjoying our time together. And just spending a lot of time together, which is
so you get to meet that goal, that huge goal that you had for yourself, while you have this whole other thing that requires so much of your time and attention. It's pretty impressive that that you still got everything done and had a great year.
And that I think of was part of 21 for me, and then like 22 was. I already knew that I was going to have to get that large shop going.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting thing to work with. That is get that goal done and then move over. I already knew that working with this shop was going, and our new location here was going to take like half a year for me. I had to work with the company, but then I also had to relocate. I wanted to relocate closer to this shop so I could spend more time and be more efficient and not waste time just driving to
traveling.
work. Yeah, traveling. If you're traveling like an hour and a half every day, it's literally almost like a waste of time. I start viewing it like that. And the only way to do it is to just locate closer. And
get closer.
2020 taught me that, I think.
Yeah. So continue to look back in this past year, was there any lesson that you learned along the way that would have helped you? I mean, so we talk about a year and we talk about all the things we did great. Is there any lessons that you learned through that?
That's an interesting one. I think one of those things is it still has to come, but it's so important. It's patience.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna be straight up. The first person to say is I have zero patience.
Me too.
A lot of people are like, Greg, you have so much patience, but me as a person, I will tell you, I have zero patience.
Yeah.
I will not. This is my thing. I do not like waiting in lines.
Yeah.
My patience is so zero that I don't even like standing in a line for a restaurant, a ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't want to do it. I'll literally leave.
I'll make my decisions based on when I don't have to do that. And I'll tell you one thing that's really bad for me is like putting fuel in my truck. Okay, to sit there and pump fuel in my truck and go that whole waiting to that drives me crazy. So when they detail my truck weekly, they go fill it up across the street, and then so when I get in there, it's full of gas, full of fuel. So
that's very
so those little things, but they just so time that just takes time away, right?
Just like Elon, building beds in the office of Twitter, you know what I mean? You're moving closer to work. You practically live here, you know what I mean? So it definitely is something that's important. But
it is.
In addition to that, Greg, you mentioned those trainings. I'm going to get with you after the show because what we're doing at Detail Bookie is we're actually putting together a comprehensive list of trainings going on all over the U.S. And we want to do a quarterly newsletter, because we have so many guys that want to get to that next level and don't necessarily know where to start. We want to be able to provide them with, so no matter where you're located, there's going to be trainings in your area. Absolutely. You don't necessarily have to fly cross country or take a massive expensive trip. And so we'd like to be able to connect, detailers with close trainings and get them that information. So it's definitely something that
the cool reason that we made this location is we wanted somewhere where people could just go and get hands-on help, hands-on training, and also just come and just ask us stuff. People have been, since we opened this location this year, people have been just flying from around the world, just showing up. Hey, I saw the location. I want to come check it out, asking us questions. Everybody that works here is super knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And they're able to get instant knowledge right there. It's a lot of value.
Man, that's awesome.
That's phenomenal, dude.
That's awesome. So, talking about marketing, you have a unique style, especially on your in your interaction with Facebook groups. But you head up your marketing, right? You handle all of that yourself. Is that right?
When you said that about marketing, I was like, that's a good question, right? Because I view myself more as advertising.
Okay.
Okay. And I feel like marketing is more about systems, to develop systems to attract your customer. I'm going to need to develop a marketing campaign, and marketing campaign's like a long-term thing. And then inside of that campaign
is the billboard,
advertising, right?
Yeah.
But the advertising nowadays is, to be honest, advertising nowadays is a dream. 100, I think I talked about this maybe on this podcast or another podcast, is I remember when I was a kid and I was I don't even watch the Super Bowl. I don't even give a shit about football. But when I was a kid, all the Super Bowl action was going on. And I was just asking my dad about commercials. Hey man, how much does one of those commercials cost?
Sure.
Only a couple seconds. And he's like, oh, well, dude, those cost $1 million. And this was in the 90s. And I was like, holy, $1 million for a couple seconds on TV? I was like, dude. And I was like, why? The reason was because it reached people. Right. But you could literally do that right now on somebody's phone for $30.
Sure.
And you could get in front of people's faces.
Right.
And it's just insane. That's a dream, right? So for me, marketing is like it's just a dream right now to do. You could
Right.
just marketing, advertising. If you have a creative mind to be able to utilize those tools, dude, it's a powerhouse.
Where are we at on TikTok? How many up to
You know, I'm
subscribers?
like 160,000 on TikTok.
Nice.
TikTok is really interesting, but like, let's talk about TikTok, right? I started doing TikTok before almost anybody in detailing was doing TikTok, right? There was like nobody doing TikTok. And when I told people to get on TikTok, they laughed at me like it was a joke. They're like, oh, you mean that one where people are dancing?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's going to be the next thing that blows up. And they're like, no, Trump's going to ban that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I heard for like 6 months.
They just did on all they just passed a bill that they're gonna you can't use TikTok on any government phone.
Yeah, but that's some government phone, like you know,
right?
You know, but is that advertising? To me, that's good advertising.
Sure.
Right? The whole reason I believe TikTok went big was because they were gonna ban TikTok.
Sure, right. That's part of the mystique, that's what makes people interested in it. And it's just like drugs. Like, okay, they make them like they're illegal, right? But that's part of the draw towards it. Like, you know, so
you make them legal, and then all of a sudden it's not cool.
Interest is not there as much. Yeah.
Or did they do that on purpose so it would be in people's eyes?
Right.
Oh, let's just say that we're going to get banned tomorrow, and then we'll be in everybody's attention, right?
Yep.
There's so many ways to think about it. And that's the way I start thinking about it. It's like a good example is Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Balenciaga if nobody knows, they're like a brand that makes clothing and high fashion stuff and bags. And they made an advertising. It was actually that's a marketing campaign.
It's a
campaign with advertising inside of that had some children holding some like bondage bears. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's not right. There's children in it, blah, 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 blah. But
now you're
get done what they wanted to do. Because I go to the mall. There's a mall I go to. It's actually the #1 mall in America. It's really close to me. It's called South Coast Plaza. Nobody was shopping at Balenciaga anyways. And then people are like, oh man, nobody's going to be shopping at Balenciaga anymore. Nobody was shopping there all
They
day.
weren't.
I honestly did not know it was a clothing company until
I didn't either. Yeah.
Exactly. And now look, that stuff got in your attention.
Yes.
And you had no idea about it. So to me, that was a powerful marketing campaign and a good advertising campaign in my mind.
Wow. So you think they did it purposefully?
Yeah, I think I truly believe in advertising and marketing. It's everything's done on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like in a book.
With intent.
Is any word in a book just mistake?
You know, it's done with intent.
Yeah. Right. And so would you say you're a believer in any publicity is good publicity?
You know, I am a very strong believer in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That any, you know, the most important thing is that you stay in people's attention.
Right.
You know? And celebrities, rich people, they know this. One of the biggest things that I've just noticed for many years, right? That I think is the biggest advertisement marketing kind of campaign ever, which is like a long-term marketing campaign, is celebrities marrying celebrities. You're an old, out-of-date celebrity. Everybody's forgotten about you. Let's marry another.
Bring you back into the spotlight.
Yeah. How many times have Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck been like,
right?
Or something like that, right? Like hasn't Jennifer Lopez been married like so many times?
Oh yeah. It's a ton of them. Yeah.
It's like time after time after time. But why? It keeps people talking about her. Oh, that's dude, right. Did you hear J-Lo?
Even though she hasn't put out a hit in 10 years, you're still talking about her.
It keeps those people you in their minds. Once somebody's forgotten about, that's the dangerous thing. And so they want to stay in your attention.
Right. So you would rather be polar. You would rather people love you or hate you.
But either way, they're thinking about you.
Yeah.
So even if they hate you, they're thinking about you.
Right.
You know, I can't help but notice, Greg, I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems like, you know, a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, you would make a post into the group. These guys would just instantly, man, they're very argumentative. They're very like, you know what? Who is this guy? Like now it feels like a change is being made towards how they feel about you. So you still have the argument, like you still have the post that makes them think, right? And these guys don't want to think; they just want to, you know, they want to polish paint. But now you have like guys dropping in there. Hey, Greg knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
or they're defending you in these posts, and it's really cool to see because we got you all along.
Yeah.
Ryan brought it to my attention. So Ryan brought you to my attention a few years ago, and I'm like, okay, like I'm listening and I've been watching it, but I've seen this transition happen, and it's awesome. I feel like have you noticed like that people are now understanding where you're coming from?
Oh yeah. A lot of people, and I'll actually tell you why. It's because a lot of people are gaining into this industry from other industries, and are coming in, seeing the profit and the utilization. The last time the detailing industry was like measured, it was like several years back. It was like $14 billion. Now it's like an 18, almost $20 billion a year industry.
Sure.
Like people see the potential of running a business. And if they're running a hot dog stand, they could also run a detail shop.
Absolutely.
They just need to be able to do that effectively. But I know some detailers that I wouldn't trust them to run a hot dog stand.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the big variable about that. Some of the best detailers I know, they just can't run a business for shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
We talk to them all the time.
Wouldn't trust them at all, right? Yeah. But the thing about that is that now there's people coming into this industry, seeing these detailers that have the talent to be able to do that, and almost utilizing them, getting them, and almost like owning their business. So there was like a detailer that was very popular. He talks on the board. I found out somebody else owns his business.
Yeah.
Because that person was, and actually that's a better arrangement.
Absolutely it is.
Because you have somebody that knows what they're doing business-wise, and then Dude X could keep polishing paint. And that's what, if Dude X wants to keep polishing paint.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you saying, I'm not, I want to be the best paint polisher. I want to be the best detailer. I want to run a shop. I want to have, whatever.
Clout in the industry.
But don't speak on the business side of things if that's where your focus is, and you find somebody that can help you with that, or commit to learning it.
You're going to be knowledgeable enough to know that you lack in that area, and that you understand that you don't care to get better. You don't want to learn to take photos and market your business better. You find somebody that does that as their specialty, and then you continue to do what you do. And that's a good working relationship.
That's how businesses work.
Right.
Yeah. Like for me, I want to create content. Okay. And so I spent the last couple years trying to train also other people to create content. Okay. Yeah. Well, with 2020 and everything, finding team members is different.
It's tough.
Right?
Yep.
It's tough. Yep. It's different. Especially people that have talent. Okay. Well, for 2023, I'm just giving up on that because I just spent the whole month just learning how to use AI content creation.
Oh God. Yeah.
Hey,
AI content creation is so strong that these people are going to be out of jobs.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I've eliminated like 5 jobs.
Yeah.
And in reality, like I need to get better at the AI content creation. And that's why I just spent the whole month doing it.
Wow.
So if myself can utilize the AI content creation, and you should be able to push that out. Oh man, you just push out content like crazy. You know what I mean? Yep. People are already using this stuff now. There's people already out there utilizing that.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, they're going to have to figure out a new way to test kids now, because book reports can be written by AI and they can be completely,
incredible.
One of a kind. And now, and some kid could just
shoot it out there. But we've been going through enough time that every word is going to be written very soon. You know what I mean? Like, have you guys ever heard like the Shakespeare monkey theory?
Yes.
No, I haven't. Go ahead.
Okay. The Shakespeare monkey theory. So there's a theory that if you put enough monkeys in a room with a bunch of typewriters, that in an exponential amount of time,
infinite amount of time, actually,
somewhere in the future, but a long time, out of nothing, they'll type enough words that they will write all the works of Shakespeare. Because
well, it's talking about infinite. That's the explanation of infinity to be able to process what infinity is. That yes, eventually. I mean, I think it's kind of horseshit, but anyways,
okay,
let's be honest.
Because there's only so many combination of words, and if we have AI to be able to just pound that out, it's going to happen.
It speeds the process up. It speeds it up
exponentially.
And it got sped up so fast, we don't even know how fast it will be sped up.
Right.
Because it just appeared. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how fast I think it is.
That's incredible.
Yeah. No, I mean,
yeah, it's my first experience was outside of just hearing about it was a buddy of mine. He's another business owner locally. Sends me a text the other day, and it's copy. It's an ad copy that's written about his business. And he said, "Man, you got to read this." As I read through it, and he's like, "This was just written by this AI. It gives me this thing." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then he sends me another one, and it's completely different, but it's beautifully written. Yep. And I'm like, "Holy shit, this is incredible." He's like, "Dude," he said, "this just blew my mind." And I'm like, man, so, instantly I started looking it up,
Oh yeah. It's been out for what, a month, the app has?
Yeah. And it's better because, to be honest, the detailers should utilize this now. And this is the reason why, and we'll get to it right here, is because in reality, the education of the detailing world is very low. Yeah. It's like high school education, right?
Yeah.
That's not bad. But the also overall average income of the detail world is also very low. It's like $35,000 to $40,000 average. And that could be way higher. But just taking in those two factors with lower education and the business being low, obviously some detailers can't write. They're not good writers. They're suck at math. So hire a good accountant and learn to use AI and just go keep washing cars. Double down on your strengths. And screw the weakness, just let the AI do it for you.
That's right. Yeah. Bring someone in to take care of that. We talk about that all the time. When I go around talking about, running a large detailing operation, one of the things is know what you're good at, but know more about what you're not good at and put somebody in that place. You got, and it doesn't have to be full time. So we talk about, bringing somebody in to help you. Like if it's making posts and all that, get your little cousin at Christmas and say, hey, can you make the, I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And let them help you get started. You don't have to
say, find child labor
and work them. I mean, but seriously, right?
You got to keep kids busy.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my daughter's working here today. She's about to be 3 months.
She's running the whole show. Actually,
she is. Yeah, she's bossing it up.
Now, Greg, what would you say would be your favorite marketing tactic? And also, I want to ask if you put out calendars. I figure if anybody has a calendar, it would be you. And I want one.
I'm gonna have to think about that for next year. I might do a calendar.
Dude, I need a calendar.
Just hold a wiener dog or something like that.
I mean, I could take the content you've already produced and come up and create a calendar, dude.
It's gotta be it's gotta be funny or it's gotta be very sexy.
Well, it's gotta be. Well, come on, we're leaning into sexy, aren't we? We're talking about Greg Masterson here, okay?
I'll figure out something. I'll think about that. That's
all right. But put AI to work on that idea.
AI to work on it. Yep. But the best marketing campaign, I feel like advertising strategy, or advertising would be speed, man. The opportunity of advertising. I think that with today's world, you have to be fast, and it's been like this for years, right? I'll give you a story. I was working for another company called The Other Guys. Anyways, I was at The Other Guys, and me working in marketing, because I was a marketing consultant, there was this thing that arrived. It appeared that same day, and it was called the Harlem Shake. I don't know if you remember that, right? Yeah. Well, anyways, I saw it literally in the first 5 minutes that it appeared, because I look at that shit. So literally I went into work and I'm like, we need to get everybody to do this fucking Harlem Shake now. Okay, let's do it now. And so I had got the owners and some other people to be okay, fine, we're gonna do a Harlem Shake. We're gonna shut down this whole place for 5 minutes and we're gonna film this Harlem Shake. So I had video cameras and everything, and I had a whole crew of everybody ready to go, and we were ready to do it. And all we had to do was just get everybody in the whole factory to just stop working and just go da, 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 for 5 minutes. That was it. Right?
Yeah.
Well, right before we were going to do it, literally 2 minutes before we were going to do it, somebody from accounting comes over who was the other boss and shut the whole thing down. saying that it was going to cost too much money. Like, oh man, we're shutting this hole down for 5 minutes. All these employees are costing this much money for this much time. And the moon is costing us solar equation bullshit. And we're not going to do it. Okay. But that was done. Anyways, the next day, like several other companies went hella viral because
yep. Now you can't. Yeah. Like you're copying if you do it then.
Well, and it was this close to being like the first up. Like we had everything planned out. So like, I think speed is important, but you have to like do it so fast before people even realize what's going on.
You have to catch the trend before it went viral. I mean, you have to,
trend. You know, we do that in our we've done that a lot in our local area, you know, is create the trend. Like you can watch things that we try to do. And I guess it is a pat on the back to the marketing team, but like we'll do things and then you'll start to see all the other detail companies doing similar things. And by the time they've caught on, we're already doing the next thing. You know?
Correct. Yeah. And I talk about this a lot in the groups that people is that detailers as an industry, very slow. Like they don't move fast enough. It's like, and it's almost like, how slow can we go?
Oh, it's a point of pride.
Longer on this car.
Yeah, it's a point of pride. Like I spent 6 hours.
I spent 29 million hours. Like,
right. Did you get paid? Like, what is the breakdown per hour now? And they're like, yeah, well, I'm suffering as a business, but I'm, taking all this time. They don't realize that they should be paying me more. And I'm like, that's not how it works. You don't give them your time and expect them to pay you next time for that.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that at all.
So look, we talked a lot about the past. Let's talk about this coming up in the future. What are some of the goals for Masterson's Car Care for the new year?
Okay, that's an interesting one. Let's go with like next year. Okay, so 2023. What I would like to do here is I'd like to create a jackload of more new content. That's something that I'm looking to do here as part of like my job here. Is I want to create more content. I want to like enslave the AI to do this for me. And that's what I'm going to
nice.
That's one of my goals. You know what I mean? To be honest, I wish Elon would release those robots. And I tell people the first day that Elon releases these robots, I will take a credit card. I don't care if it costs me $100,000. Yeah. Like I will buy 5 of Elon robots.
Right.
And me and those 5 robots will just do everything. Like, I won't need
I'll take a calendar of that too. If you got it.
There's a thing somebody once said, like, all you need is 3 badass motherfuckers.
Yeah, right.
You could take over a fucking country. You Absolutely. Just need 3. You need 3 ride or die dudes, and you can fucking do anything. So I was like, okay, if I need 3 humans, I need 5 robots, and then I'll take over a country. I'll take over Brazil next week.
So you've I like how you've broken this down. You figured it out, and that's like you now have your goal.
Yeah. Because if that's what I wish would happen.
They're coming.
Next year. What I want to do is I want to try and enslave the AI to do a lot of work for me because that will give me more time. Like I can't. Think about it. The AI should be our slave.
Yeah,
we should make it that it should. And the reason I say slave is we shouldn't be paying a lot for it.
Right. But you know that if they hear you talking about that, they're going to know. They're going to learn it. That's exactly why they're going to exterminate us because Greg's already wanted to enslave
them.
You're
giving them the answer.
Yeah. But like I said, opportunity, speed.
Right.
That's right.
You have to evolve. Okay, the AI is going to learn. And then we're going to have to screw the AI, go back to creating it on our own. But at least it will give us a jump. It's yin and yang.
I thought the idea was to be sweet to it, and then they'll know that we're good-hearted, good-naturedly folks, and that they would want to help us.
Be sweet to it.
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works. I don't know. But I would like to create more content and more training, and offer more a business discussion, and mainly offering the business discussion. And what I'm really looking forward to do is, I talked about this in a group, and I'll actually talk about it here as well. That I am working with a group of people right now to put on the first ever Detail Con in California. A full-on detailing convention by detailers for detailers, not just people who run a business, but people who just want to learn to detail the car. And we're going to have other companies and reps and detailers from around the world out here in California, really close to Disneyland. It's going to be really accessible. It's not going to be in the middle of nowhere. and it's going to be a really good time. So I'm going to be releasing info coming up that in the beginning.
Yeah, we want to know.
That's pretty awesome, man. Detail Con, as if the detailing world wasn't nerdy enough. Now you're going to put con on the end of it. All the nerds are going to come out there. It's going to be great.
Always. It's going to be the first ever detailing convention of its kind, not just for professionals,
Sure.
Of just all types of stuff for anybody that just loves their car.
Right on. Well, look, Greg, we got to be wrapping up here. Tell me a little bit before we jump off. What are your holiday plans? What are you doing any traveling coming up?
Actually, no. Me and my wife, we just moved, and I'm just going to look at hanging out at home with my baby and just do a lot of just relaxing. And I like to use the end of the year to get ready for the beginning of the year. Yeah. So you can just go hard at the beginning of the year. I feel like December's a really shit month to make any moves on anything.
It is.
And nothing really gets done. So I feel that it's better to use that month to just gain up your resources. Strengthen your army, gather your team, get ready to go hard at the beginning of the year. Because for some reason, at the beginning of the year, people they get fires lit under their ass.
Oh yeah, it's a brand new year. It's
time. Yeah, and we do the same thing. We do our planning at the end of the year for next year. It's an exciting time. I love it. I enjoy this part. And setting those goals, putting them out there, writing them down, getting everybody on board, and create that strong push. So
one of my goals now is to head out to Greg Masterson's training and spend some time out there.
Yeah, we're gonna come see it.
I'd really like to invite everybody out there. The address is 4308 East La Palma Avenue in Anaheim. It's about 10 minutes from Disneyland. It's really close.
Nice.
And we're open 6 days a week. So just come down Monday through Saturday and just share some events. And the cool thing that I'm so excited for next year, one of my plans, and we've already started, is to use the space to have more events and more people, networking, connection, meeting more people face to face. It's something something that's really important to me is meeting the face-to-face connection. I feel like, and that's why I tell people out there in the groups, just call me. Don't even message me. Pick up the phone, dial it, and make the call. And last night we had, just one of our customers, they walked into our store one day and we just got talking. Comes to find out this guy has a watch club with 75 members. And I was like, oh, really?
You're a watch guy too.
I just said, hey man, really? That's cool. They're we're looking for a place to have a meeting spot for this month. And I said, you can use my facility, use a store. So we had 75 just watch nerds with cool cars. They brought in a cool Porsche. And I mean, we had several thousands of dollars of different watches, rare ones, gold ones, just crazy stuff.
I bet watch guys are car guys too, in a sense. They all probably were riding up in something nice and clean.
Yeah, it was so cool to be able to experience that with other people direct.
Nice. I did want to mention one other thing too. I talked to Marcus Parsley the other day at IGL, and he wanted me to make sure that he spoke very highly of you. And I think you helped him out in some kind of way, but he was very appreciative of everything that you had done while they were out, and enjoyed getting out there and coming to see you.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was great talking to Mark. They actually came out to the shop. We hung out for a while, and they were doing a project, and they needed some supplies.
Yeah,
so they came down to our shop, and we supplied them with everything they need.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And got them just the stuff that they needed, so they could go do their job. So
right.
Glad we were just able to help them with their success.
Yeah. He told me. So anyways, I wanted to make sure mention that. Man, listen, appreciate you as always coming on. Respect the shit out of you. Think you got a lot of stuff going the right direction. Can't wait to come out and see you. Me and Ryan are going to have to
100%
jump on a plane and come out and visit the facility for sure.
Thank you very much. It was great having you guys. Great being on your show. And I just hope everybody meets their goals.
We're going to do it.
Awesome, brother. And we'll have you back on next year.
Accountability, man. I think that was the best one. I know it was before I got on, but accountability, that's why you got to say your goals. So you wake up every day and you make sure that you're accountable for that. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do that.
Write them down. Yeah. Make you have to, don't just think it. You got to write it down. You got to break it down. You got to chase it every day.
And if you guys see me getting fatter, then y'all better hit me up in the DMs that I'm not doing what I said I was going to do and hold me accountable. I don't think so either, but
all right, man. Good talking to you, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
See you.
Brother. Merry Christmas.
All right. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's cool, dude. I mean, he's so smart.
Yep.
I mean, he really is. And, I don't think he gets, I think he's getting the credit now, but he did not get the credit a few years ago as people didn't understand him, where he was coming from.
I think that's really insightful of you, because I feel like you're thinking internally on that. I think that was your opinion originally.
Yeah, well,
and it took somebody, a little bit, just to steer, have you.
Like I told you, it's just different. It's different than what I would do.
Right.
And it's still different.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. He's California. We're Alabama.
Absolutely.
Big, totally different. I mean, just the surroundings. You had mentioned last time he was on, could I sell your products in my area, like see your ads and think that's, something good. But in California, there's plenty of people
that's the norm.
Yeah,
probably.
exactly. I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, anyways, great
cool,
talking to him. Great conversation, man. Just wealth of knowledge. Respect him, like I said. And, I think he has a lot of value. Whether you agree with every single person, that don't matter. That doesn't matter. I mean, he's a great guy. And I think that.
Take him up on giving him a call, man. You'll totally have a different change of heart if you felt one way.
What could it hurt, right?
That's right.
All right. We got something else going?
Yeah, dude. What time is it, Ethan?
All right. That's
correct. Or heck.
Nailed that there, brother. Let's see what we got going.
Bean footage.
Speaking of beans, we're going to microwave them first.
All right. Open in a microwave, bowl of water.
That's Pyrex dish, I believe.
Oh, what are we making?
What are you making, Chris, with that Pyrex?
All right, looks like we heated the water.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we're going to do with this water. Oh, we're going to warm our hands around a warm bottle of water.
I don't know if that was water, Dustin. That might have actually been a.
Are we warming the chemicals?
I think we did.
Are we warming?
Is the chemical like heat? Like,
okay, so magic eraser though. That's pretty normal.
Right.
Cleaning. Okay, looks like it cleaned pretty good.
So warm water helps the magic eraser work better.
By the way, on a magic eraser, got to make sure you're not scrubbing too hard.
Those things are very abrasive.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Just want to say
they don't feel like they would be that abrasive.
Right. So okay. So warm chemicals, warm water cleans better. Is this right? Warm all-purpose cleaner. It melts the grime like butter.
Dude. I didn't know that. I'm gonna butter it up. Son.
Okay.
All right.
Are my guys out there warming the damn all-purpose
Did
cleaner?
you not know that's not like you've been out of it for too long, Dustin. You didn't know
out
that's...
there with microwaves warming our cleaner.
Is that so fireproof? I mean,
God, get out of the microwave.
All right, Dustin. What about this hack?
Okay. All right. Put yourself in the middle of the woods. You have to close your eyes. Mm-hmm. Put yourself in the middle of the woods.
Got it.
All you have is a dirty console, a magic eraser,
yes,
a bottle of all-purpose cleaner,
Pyrex dish,
a Pyrex dish in the MF kitchen,
and also we need it
in the microwave.
Okay, microwave,
and a generator, and an extension cord because they're never going to reach.
Never going to reach. No.
And make sure it's a grounded extension cord because they ground the microwave. Anyways, heat up that all-purpose cleaner, put that on the magic eraser, clean that console up. This hack is confirmed.
Boom. We nailed it.
I think that's a myth.
Yeah,
who knows? We don't know.
We're going to call it, though.
All right, listen, that's going to wrap up this episode. Next week, we are going to be celebrating ringing this ear in just right with hopefully a fat bottle of champagne
buddy.
And some fun times. We're going to cut it up. We're going to enjoy it. It's going to be very casual. I don't know the whole setting, but we'll make it happen.
No guess. I think we're just going to look back at our 2022, do a little year in review, and talk about moving forward, taking a retrospective look at 2022. That means look back.
Well, listen, I love that. Listen, but before we jump off, we do want to take some time out. A good friend of ours. We learned about his passing away yesterday, or actually it was late in the night, 2 days ago. Daryl Lyons, he was the owner of SDC. Had a lot of respect for him. He did a lot of good things in our industry and kind of passed away,
way too soon.
Absolutely. So we're going to give him a moment of silence here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you all.